Wise man has said that if there's anything predictable in football, it is that it's unpredictable. Hello and welcome to the Football Parliament podcast, your one stop destination for all your football debates, discussions, and opinions. And today's podcast, me and Adit are going to be discussing about the headline grabber, the dismissal of Nuno Espirito Santos as the manager of Tottenham Hotspurs, potential replacements, talks about Antonio Conte, and more. So, welcome, Adit. And what are your thoughts on the entire situation?
Thank you, Balash. First of all, I like to say Nuno Santa was sacked just after 4 months of being the Spurs manager. Like 4 months. There's a very rare case. I mean, Watford have done it this season and Spurs, but hardly that this kind of thing happens ever. Secondly, I like to say start of the season, he had got the Manager of the Month award and he had won 3 games continuously, one of them being of City.
Exactly, 3 games. He wins a manager who wins manager month in his first very season and gets sacked just 2 months later. That's how fast life comes at you, for sure.
That's just football, I can say.
That's
Uh,
football. That's football. Yeah.
Looking
And
after the
thoughts on
first,
thoughts on Antonio Conte. I think it's very interesting that we talk about Antonio Conte for three particular reasons. If you let me speak first, the three
yeah,
particular
please.
reasons that make Antonio Conte to Tottenham a very interesting or very spicy thing is that firstly, Antonio Conte is an ex-Chelsea manager, and Tottenham and Chelsea being city rivals. Secondly, that yeah, Antonio Conte did reject Tottenham in the summer itself because, according to reports, he believed that the club does not have long-term plans. And finally, Tottenham played Manchester United in their most recent game, who have reportedly been interested in Conte as well, and might just edge United in this race because of United's still not 100% decisiveness in getting rid of Ole's services. So very interesting thing. Adit, what are your thoughts on Conte to Tottenham?
First of all, I like to say Tottenham did try to approach him in the summer, but like you said, Conte rejected him, and due to some of the financial reasons. So after a very long time, Daniel Levy went for a very cheaper option, Nuno Espirito Santo, which the 4 months didn't work at all. So yeah, there's a very right, very right time to appoint him because United are keeping a very close eye on him and would like to appoint the former manager Ole. But Spurs might have just done the amazing job of sacking Nuno Santo. Have gotten a much better, much better manager. A huge upgrade for them. Antonio Conte, who can really do some wonders for them and start filling up those trophies in that empty trophy cabinet.
No, that's actually very well said because with Antonio Conte, one thing that guarantees you is trophies, more or less guarantees you because in Chelsea, in 2 years, two trophies won. Not to be forgotten that the last season, the season before Conte actually took over, Chelsea finished 10th in the league. The very next season, the gap of 10 places was filled as Chelsea won the Premier League. And the next season, Chelsea won the FA Cup. And I think he had one season of management. He returned in Italy, his hometown, with Inter Milan and ended Juventus's 9 year long Serie A dominance, winning the Scudetto. So Antonio Conte probably for Tottenham, the nature that we've been seeing with Daniel Levy of late, that he's trying to be this wannabe Roman Abramovich, as Chelsea fans have been bantering him for his, sacking managers, not giving them a lot of time. So Conte is not a manager that many clubs have built their long-term futures on because of his nature of falling out with the board. So, and one thing Tottenham need, as you mentioned correctly, Adit, is trophies, and Conte does, increase Tottenham's chances of winning something, maybe the Conference League, maybe the a domestic trophy, the EFL Cup or something by a good margin. In my eyes, this could be a great deal for Tottenham. How do you see Tottenham possibly playing or lining up under Antonio Conte?
See, speaking about Antonio Conte, one formation is imminent, the 3-5-2 formation. That's for sure. For sure. He's going to mostly play the 3-5-2 formation, three at the back with Christian Romero, Eric Dyer, and possibly Tanganga or Sanchez lining up. But Really, I'd like to speak about the position of Spurs. They are 2 points behind Manchester United, who started the season were called the top four contenders, and under Conte, I can really see something happening here. Spurs can really challenge for the uh, top four contenders this season, possibly because they have a very good manager, very good manager. So anything can happen. That's the Premier League.
I think that's quite a good point. Spurs aren't that poor off right now as people think, in the terms that on the league table they're just 2 points behind Manchester United. United, I think, still to an extent are considered among those Chelsea, Liverpool, City category of challenging for the title, top four for sure. So Spurs can definitely challenge for the top four, get into European football with Antonio Conte. That is not so if they do sign another manager that's not on top of their bucket list. Something that they did do in the summer. Nuno Espirito Santo was not their first or the second or the third. He was actually very
Not even
lower
the
down.
top five.
Yeah, very lower down in the tier list. And as we can see, Dan Levy has definitely made an error in appointing Santos. To conclude, Adit, what do you think of the chances of this move going through? And finally, your predictions for Spurs for the remainder of the season.
I think this is going to happen. Daniel Levy has to break the bank. This has to happen. Means like Spurs are in urgent need of a very good manager, especially with the Harry Kane situation where he's not wanting to play for the club, and that is due to the trophy situation. But under Conte, if he can guarantee trophies and if he can get Harry Kane back to his form, then that would be a very serious threat to the through any club. In, for example, Liverpool also, who are in top form right now.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
very well said.
predict
Yeah.
European football is imminent. Spurs are going to finish top six, but top top four is a very bold prediction considering if
Yeah.
Ole isn't sacked. I think Spurs under Conte can finish above Ole's United squad, but
Mhm.
you have got a new top four contender. You are David Moyes, West Ham, who are in great form, great
Not to,
form.
not to
So
forget Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, who are
yeah,
great
that too.
themselves.
Speaking about Mikel Arteta, he has no European competition this season, so his main focus is the Premier League. So yeah, roughly 6 to 7 teams can really challenge for the top four position. But Conte being better than Arteta and David Moyes can
Yeah.
really do
I
something.
think one thing that could work in favor of these other contenders is that Conte won't be given the squad that he exactly needs from the start. Conte is a manager who likes to invest a lot in the squad, fill in those positions. We know his emphasis on wing backs, but at the same time, he is known as a coach to develop players. He is known to bring the best out of players who were being overlooked by ex-managers. You could see it at Chelsea when this average 25 million signing from probably, where was it, Florentina or somewhere, Marcus Alonso and Victor Moses, who was not given even a look at Chelsea, turned into two of the best players in the leagues in the position. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting also seeing them spend in January the entire hurricane situation. But that was it for today's podcast. Our views, more to follow on this entire situation. We'll keep you posted. We'll keep giving our views. So make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to keep listening to the Football Parliament podcast for more top quality football content. Palash Modi signing off.